Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Aging with Attitude, shown here on Channel 21, servicing the local Charlotte metro market. Thank you for coming to the show. Tonight we have Angela Broom, the regional CEO of the American Red Cross, servicing Western North Carolina. Do I have that right?
You have that correct.
Wow. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And now you're located locally, correct?
Right. I live here in Charlotte, and my office is here. I manage the Mecklenburg and Iredell County chapter of the Red Cross, and then I'm also over the other counties that consist of Western North Carolina, which is a total of 47 counties. So wow. We have a lot going on in our region.
Are there other offices, or is it based out of here and you travel?
Well, we have one office here in Charlotte, and then we have multiple offices across Western North Carolina, Winston, Greensboro, Asheville, Hickory. There's about 30 of them where our volunteers base out of and our staff, and we attempt to serve the citizens of Western North Carolina the best we can, with 51 staff members and about 4,000 volunteers that deliver the mission of the Red Cross.
4,000?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah, we're a very mission-delivered organization, mission delivery through volunteers, I should say, because we're a volunteer-led organization. The folks that respond in times of disaster, take care of our military, maybe are canteening at the blood drives, those are all volunteers.
And those 4,000 is a big number. You were just talking in your region, or?
That's all here in the 47 counties of Western North Carolina.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. They're amazing people, and they give of their time and their talents. Some of them 40 hours or more a week. Some of them deploy to disasters around the country to serve in a different capacity, 2 weeks at a time. And they're an amazing group of people with huge hearts for service to others.
And what, just out of curiosity, what type of, you get all age groups that want to volunteer?
Yeah, it really is amazing. We have the young college student who's looking for some community service hours to graduate with, to the retired air traffic controllers who want to stay active in their retirement, and we have several of those. They come from all walks of life, and they just want to give back to their communities. And so we have nurses that will volunteer during their off hours. We have mental health specialists that will volunteer for disasters or events that might need that. So yeah, they do a little bit of everything: logistics, transportation, you name any position that it takes to run an organization, any corporate position, or down to answering the phone, filing papers, or doing computer work, and all those people come and give to the Red Cross of their time and energy.
Time and wealth of knowledge, it sounds like.
It's an amazing wealth of knowledge because we empower them to do the job, and so a lot of them have roles of leadership that I will go to them over a staff member because they're empowered to do their job, to lead us. My logistics lead here in Charlotte, retired air traffic controller, and he's in charge of logistics. I don't go into the warehouse and move something until I ask him first, because he will know that it's not in place, and his team will come and say, why is that not there? We need it to be prepared for whatever event might occur. So he's in charge. Disaster response, when we go out, those folks leading that, they're volunteers. And so I, as a staff member, report to whoever is in charge of that response, and I ask, what can I do?
Wow.
Yeah. Great to see them empowered like that. And they own it, and they take ownership of it, and they lead the way, and they'll tell you how to do something too. If it's not going the way it's supposed to, they'll say, Angela, straighten up. Yeah. So it's a great group.
So tell me some of the calls that your office might typically get, and how frequent are they?
Right. Well, the mission of the Red Cross is very varied. We are established to eliminate human suffering, and so that comes in a lot of different aspects. Most people are familiar with our blood collection. We collect about 47% of the nation's blood supply. The American Red Cross collects that and maintains that, and that obviously has to be a safe and available supply. So that's one area that we do. Disaster response, many people are familiar with the large-scale disasters that you see, like Hurricane Sandy and even the South Carolina flooding. We are chartered by Congress to do that response work. But we also do home fires. Right now, sometime today, there'll be a home fire in our 47 counties, and a team of volunteers will go out and assist that family, and they'll take care of their immediate needs and then help them towards recovery. So that's the disaster response. We have service to the armed forces. We make sure emergency communication is available to every family member and every serviceman or woman, so that they can be in touch in times of disaster or times of need or times of crisis. We also support our active duty reserve units across Western North Carolina. Then community education is important, and we'll talk a little bit about that today, making sure folks are prepared in the event of disaster and how to be ready. And then, like you told me, you're CPR trained, and we also have all that wonderful coursework so that you can be CPR certified, lifeguard certified, babysitting certified, whatever, so that if there is something like a need that comes up, you can step in as a citizen and help those around you. So that we're a very varied organization with lots of different roles and responsibility for the American people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is bigger than I realized.
It is a big organization. And again, led by volunteers.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting to see, is that it's American people that come out to become our volunteers to serve others in their
Do you have
time of
somebody
need.
who's just dealing with the volunteers?
We have a volunteer director.
Yeah.
We have 5 of them across our region, and you can call them up, tell them, hey, I'm interested, here's the things that I'm good at, and they will find a role for you if you want to volunteer at the Red Cross.
No matter how many hours you want to put in.
You can come in 1 hour a week, or you can come in 40 or more if that's your thing. You can stay at home. We have positions where you can actually do work on the computer at home, so you never have to leave your house. In the age of technology, we have things that we've created roles for people to do that.
Wow.
Or you can be that person at 2 a.m. that goes out to the house fire, put your arm around that family and says, we're going to take care of you. So we have all kinds of roles that you can do.
Wow. Now, house fires. You're in the midst of a home fire campaign, is that correct?
The National Red Cross decided that we were going to partner with the Firefighters Association because home fire deaths can be prevented. And so our goal is over the next 5 years to reduce deaths by 25%. And we have a campaign that we started last year, and our job is really to make our community safe and make sure that everyone has a working smoke alarm in their home and that they know what to do in case there is a fire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people out there probably don't have a smoke alarm or one functioning.
Or one functioning. I think, like a lot of us, that battery goes dead at middle of the night. It starts beeping, and you go in there and you get that battery out so you can go back to bed and go back to sleep, but we forget to replace it.
Yeah.
And so we just changed our clocks for the time change. So we try to remind everyone, change your clocks, change your batteries twice a year in the spring and the fall, so that gives you a reminder of when to do that. That's very important. But then we find that a lot of people just don't have a smoke detector in their home. And you really need more than one, because there's multiple places where fires can start. So having a couple of those in your home is very important. And part of our campaign is free smoke alarms. So if you need a smoke alarm installed in your home, you don't have one, or the one you have isn't working, you can call the Red Cross, and for free we will come out and we will install it in your home. Our goal is really to make sure that you and your family are safe, and so that you can be alerted, have your plan, know what to do, and get out of your house in time.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So American Red Cross, if our viewers call the American Red Cross,
Right.
they will come in and install a smoke detector.
Yes,
For
we
free.
will, for free. Usually multiple. We usually install 2 to 3 per household, because we want to make sure there's one in the kitchen, there's one in the bedroom area, and wherever in the house that a fire could begin or take place. And so we want to make sure that no matter where you're at in your house, you will hear it. So yeah, we'll install multiple to make sure that you're safe, and we'll also talk with you to make sure you have a plan and know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really important knowledge and information that, again, is free, because we do have that goal to reduce fire fatalities by 25% in the next 5 years.
That's a big number, 25%.
It is a big number.
Yeah.
It is a big number. And unfortunately, they occur all too often.
Yeah.
Just a few months ago, we had a couple in the Hidden Valley area here in Charlotte that passed away because they didn't have a smoke alarm to alert them, and they weren't able to get out. And that's the things we want to prevent. Just a few weeks ago, we partnered with the fire department, Piedmont Natural Gas, and we canvassed that community. Volunteers came in and we went door to door through that community and just let them know that we're there, and we installed over 50 smoke alarms that day. And so
Really? Wow.
we've made a difference in a few homes there, and we'd love to get the message out that we'd love to install them in everyone's home to make sure everyone in Charlotte and the surrounding area is safe.
Wow. Probably going to save lives. There's no way around
We
that.
hope so.
Yes.
In the first year and a half of this, we again started a little over a year ago, 26 lives across the country have been saved by the Red Cross, where we know we installed a smoke alarm, a fire occurred later, and we know that lives were saved because that smoke alarm was in there. So yes, we know that they will save lives.
What about, you hear carbon monoxide?
Carbon monoxide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are they? Is that something American Red Cross
just
does
as
as well, or
important?
no?
That's
Yeah.
not something that we put in,
Okay.
but we can work with the fire department to help people know how to get those and get them installed as well. Sometimes they come in the same unit,
Right.
but they're very important, and that is a silent killer, because again, you don't know it, you don't smell it, and you unfortunately may not wake up if it happens at night. And so that's definitely something else you want to consider, making your home safe.
Yeah, especially around the holidays when things can happen.
The holidays, the winter months are our busiest time,
Really?
and we average in Western North Carolina 3 to 5 fires a day.
Wow.
So you can see they happen quite often. They can be one family, a house. It can be a multiple unit apartment fire, and I've been to fires early in the morning when there's 24 units of an apartment, and all the families are standing outside, and so they can be any size and happen any time of day. So that's a lot, and we want to do whatever we can to prevent them, and then also again make people aware of what to do. And so yes, the winter months, the holidays, people start decorating the homes. They
Right.
start putting candles out, the Christmas tree, the menorah with all the candles, extra cooking. The family comes over, and
Lights.
kitchen lights.
Yes.
Exactly. So there's so many different things, hazards that can happen that are extra during the holiday season. Plus it gets colder.
Right.
And so people, turn fireplaces on and other heat sources, and we see a lot of fires happen in the winter months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is, we're right in the middle of it.
we are. Kitchen fires are always the one that we see the most. So you want to make sure you have a fire extinguisher or baking soda or something in the kitchen, so you're prepared in case that gets a little out of control. But kitchens are always where we see the most fires during the holidays. And please don't try to deep fry those turkeys inside the house. You would not believe around Thanksgiving how many fires we get called out to, because instead of deep frying that turkey outside in a safe area, they want to do it on the back porch or somewhere, the garage. Not a good idea. We really hope people would take those outside. They taste really good,
Right.
but we want you to be safe.
safe.
Safe when you're doing that. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. My son goes to a school in South Carolina, and in the dorm room he was in,
Oh my.
there was a fire, a small fire that
Yeah.
took place. One of the young men that lives in the dorm caught something on fire,
Yeah.
and he didn't realize it was a grease fire. So what does he
Threw
do?
water on it.
Exactly.
Oh no, that's not good.
And they had the dorm room was evacuated.
Yeah.
The entire dorm was
Yeah.
evacuated. So because of that, we showed my younger sons a video on what could happen in a grease fire and how important it is. Just you smother it, correct?
Smother it or baking soda. Yeah.
baking soda.
Yeah. So
Okay.
smothering is the best thing if you
Okay.
can get a lid over it. But if it's too big, obviously if it's really big, get out of the house and call
Right,
911.
exactly.
But do not pour water on it. That is the worst thing you can do. That usually scatters it and may splash back on you. And so that young man's very lucky that he didn't get hurt, didn't get injured, and that it didn't spread to the whole dorm. It could have been a really, really bad situation. So yeah, you want to make sure that your house, a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, very, very important. Right under the sink, you can have that there. But definitely, if you can smother it, get the air away from it. But if all else fails, grab the baking soda or just get out of the house and call 911 and let the professionals come in and take care of it.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. Don't try to take care of it yourself.
Don't try to do
no,
it yourself.
No, it's not a good thing.
So how many fires did you mention you have on a daily basis in this area?
3 to 5 is the average.
Wow.
I get a report every day of what we have across our 47 counties, and you'll see it goes in spells. We'll have a day where we won't have anything happen, and then we'll have a day where we'll have 7 or 8 or more, and then they can come in larger units, apartment units, or things like that in the Charlotte or metropolitan areas. We'll see larger units, because when that one happens, it usually the whole unit is affected by that. And so that's why, even though you might be safe in your home and think you've got everything under control, you don't know what your neighbor next to you might be doing.
Yeah,
and
especially
so
if they're attached houses.
especially if they're attached, and so you want to be very prepared, just in case.
Right.
Yes. So have a plan. We always say, first and foremost, have a plan of what you're going to do, where you're going to go. Back to when you were a kid in school and they made a fire escape plan and where you're going to meet in the yard. I've raised my boys to know that the mailbox in the front of the house is always where we're going to go, because you don't want to be outside looking for someone. And so you make that plan. If it's something other than a fire, you might want to consider, let's say a storm was coming. You might want to consider, if I have to leave home, where would I go? Maybe a plan of a safe place if you need to leave your home. The kind of things that you would want to take with you, an emergency kit, and we can talk about that. And then to be informed, to make sure that you're watching your news stations, listening to the radio, and making sure that you know exactly what's happening and being informed. Having an all-weather radio is really important as well. Not a lot of people have those. They think, oh, well, I've got my cell phone. Well, you know what? A lot of people found out during Hurricane Sandy that cell phones don't work when you don't have electricity, because you can't charge them. And so those all-weather radios are really important in times of larger scale disasters. And we've had those in Charlotte. Lots of folks that live here might remember Hurricane Hugo, where people were without power for 2-3 weeks, and we've had ice storms in Charlotte that have affected us and been, again, without power for a long time. And so that's the kind of things that we want people around this area to plan for and think about and be ready for.
What about a generator? Is that really not an emergency equipment? What do you think about that?
I think that if you know how to use one and you're capable of making sure it's handled appropriately, then of course that would be perfect. But I think they're very expensive, and if you don't know how to use it, it might be more of a hindrance to you. So things like extra blankets, flashlights, those kind of things, just having those. We have amazing utilities here in Charlotte that work very, very quickly to get things restored and have a great track record of doing that. And so really you need to think about maybe 72 hours. What would I do for 72 hours? We always say the first 72 is on you. And so you should be prepared. You should think about, what do I need to do for my family, and who all that includes, including those pets that are family members as well. What do I need to do to be prepared for the first 72 hours of a disaster, a storm, etc., whether I'm staying in my home or whether I need to go to a safer place.
Right. Especially if you live alone, I would think.
Definitely,
very
if you live
critical.
alone. Yes, we all, there's lots of things that you can do simply to make sure you're prepared in your home. I talked about the emergency kit, and I brought one with us today that we can show.
Sure.
And it's really simple. You can get a backpack and you can fill it with the things that you might need for the first few hours. A lot of people get a plastic tub and just put it in their closet.
Right.
But it'll be simple things such as, this is shameless promotion, a blanket. Yours may not be Red Cross logoed,
right.
But a flashlight. You'll want to remember that if the power's out, you want a flashlight. Some food. We've got some protein bars to keep you fed if you can't turn on the power. Water. We want to make sure that you have water. first aid kit.
Yes.
People don't think about that. But your pets, the family member, have a little bit of food for them as well, something maybe for them to eat out of. Here's that magic radio that I was speaking of.
Right.
But just, you can put inside your kit just anything that you might feel that you and your family would need, and you want about 72 hours worth. So you think about how much water would I drink in 72 hours, and you want to have enough water on hand. You might want some things for safety as well, so maybe some work gloves in case you needed to, tape up a window or something like that. So maybe some tape, extra batteries. I went to Africa this year and used my flashlight a lot on my hike, and boy, I really appreciated extra batteries. So that would be something. And if you have canned food, don't forget your can opener, because that electric one you're used to using, you got to go back to old school. So a kit like this will just help you and your family be prepared, and it doesn't have to be a backpack. It can be a tub or anything that you can pull together inside your home. If you have children or grandchildren, bring them together and say, hey, let's do this together. Let's put everything in here that we might need. Phone numbers. Write those down on a piece of paper. Again, that cell phone might not be working, so have those in another place. I don't know about you, but I don't remember people's phone numbers anymore because they're plugged into the phone. Maybe a little bit of extra cash because the ATMs might not be working.
Right.
And just any information, maybe a copy of your driver's license or some other identification that you might want to have on hand.
Social Security numbers.
If that's not kept in a safe place at home, a copy in here. But you just want to make sure you have things that you and your family would find important if you had to stay in your home for a couple of days, or if you needed to leave quickly. And that's why maybe the cash or the identification is important. We always find that when we go to the house fire, the family's standing outside in their pajamas. They might have their phone. It's really interesting how many people actually do come out of the house with their phone, but they don't have their wallet, they don't have their purse, and so they don't have any identification, no cash. And so we always say this would be something really, really easy to have that you could leave with quite quickly. So being prepared is what we just want to remind people of. It's really simple. It doesn't take long to do. It's a great activity to do with the kids or the grandkids, and pull them together and say, hey, let's talk about what we want in our preparedness kit. So the three things we want to remember is have a plan, make a kit, and stay informed so that you know what to do in case there's a bad situation, storm or whatever that might happen here in Charlotte.
You see more and more of these second floor ladders.
Yeah.
Is that recommended by American Red Cross?
It depends on your home.
Okay.
So if your plan, the path out of your home is not easily, could potentially be blocked during a fire or something like that, why not take that extra effort and have that ladder for a second story home? So a lot of times, if there's only one way out, and that might be the window at the time if you can't get out the front staircase. I know in my home, both of my boys are upstairs, and they would need to do that. If the front stairwell is blocked, they would probably need to raise the window and get out, and so we think about those things as well. Yeah.
My grandfather was a fireman in New York City for about 30 years, and he went to a lot of fires, and he told me when I was a young boy, he said, I know you love your pets. He said, but I've seen so many people die trying to go in to rescue a pet. Is that true? I mean, is there?
Yeah, you want to get out.
Right.
You have only 2 minutes. I know if you survey the American population, they think, 5 minutes or so. 2 minutes. And if you start clicking that off, 2 minutes goes really, really fast. So that's why a plan is important. Exactly what do I need to do? How will I get out of the house? Where will I meet my family? And don't go back in, no matter what. A lot of times I've been on fire scenes where the firefighter can go in and find the pet because pets are pretty smart. They'll find a place to hide. I've seen firefighters come out with an iguana in a cage, a parrot, cats, dogs, and so people do love their pets, but your life is so important, and so get out of the house. 2 minutes is not long. quickly get out and don't go back in, no matter what. Wait for the firefighters to get there, and then
they
let
have
them
oxygen,
know.
they have the equipment.
They can,
which we
yeah.
don't
They
have.
can take care of that pet and do everything they can, and that's always a lovely scene when at a fire I see a family member get reunited with their pet. And but we want people to just be aware, be safe, and know what to do. And again, if you need a smoke alarm in your home for free, call the Red Cross, 704-347-8366 here in Charlotte. If we don't answer, leave a message. That's a voicemail message on there as well. We will come and we will install for free the number that you need in your home so that you're safe.
That is very important. For our viewers out there, we have a lot of seniors watching and family members of seniors.
Yeah.
Please take heed to that. If you don't have a smoke alarm, please call the American Red Cross and ask them about it.
Yeah, we'll be happy to come out, and our folks are trained to put them in correctly and make sure that they're working and in order, and we will again sit down with you and make that plan as well. Our volunteers are trained to walk you through the process of what do I need to know, and we'll draw out your house for you and map that plan on how you're going to get you're going to get out. And elderly, I think probably need to take some extra precautions. You might want to think about in their kit is there medication. There's a little bit of extra medication for them if they need to leave, and a list of your medication. If you can't get it out quickly with you, having a list of, you can tell the firefighters, this is what I had. The Red Cross volunteers will make sure that those are replaced for you as well. And so making sure you have that list of medication is very, very important. And again, anything that you can do on your windows to let the firefighters know maybe where your bedroom is or something like that. If you have a pet, there's pet logos that you can, emblems that you can get to put up as well. So information is important, and that's the key. Be informed.
I've heard that some of the utility companies, like even power companies, if you're a senior, you can call them up and notify them that it might be a little bit, that you are a senior, and that they may even have a little bit higher priority to getting power back out to a house in case. Is that true?
I'm not sure, since I don't work for the power company. I know that our folks here in Charlotte that provide utilities are an amazing group of people, and we do partner with them a lot of times on scenes in disaster situations, and they work tirelessly to make sure everything happens. So I would make the call if that happens, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, you brought up some incredible topics to discuss tonight. Great information. I want to thank Angela Broom, Regional CEO of Western North Carolina for the American Red Cross, a great speaker, a great visitor here to our show. I want to thank everybody that viewed in tonight, Aging with Attitude. Have a very good evening and be safe.